Walk into a reconstructed Viking longhouse, or, step inside one of the few surviving timber halls from Scandinavia, and one thing becomes immediately obvious. The roof timbers are still strong, straight, and sound, despite centuries of storms, snow, and freezing temperatures. Compare that to modern homes, where roof rafters and joists often fail in a few decades, even under far lighter conditions. How did Vikings achieve such longevity without modern sealants, membranes, or chemical preservatives? Today, we're exploring the techniques that allowed Viking roof timber to outlast modern homes, and how you can apply the same principles today. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, because this knowledge could save your roof decades of unnecessary decay. The first secret lies in wood selection and preparation. Vikings didn't rely on fast-grown plantation timber. They selected slow-grown, dense softwoods like pine or spruce, or occasionally oak, for critical supports. Slow growth produces tight growth rings and high resin content, which naturally strengthens wood and resists fungal attack. Timber was felled in winter when sap was dormant, reducing internal moisture and sugars that attract decay. After felling, the wood was often air-seasoned for months, sometimes years, allowing moisture to leave gradually and internal fibres to stabilize. Modern builders rarely follow these practices, favouring fast-grown wood that is kiln-dried quickly and installed immediately, leaving it more vulnerable to stress and moisture intrusion. Roof geometry was another critical factor in the longevity of Viking timber. Roofs were steeply pitched, often exceeding 45 degrees, to shed rain, snow, and debris quickly. Standing water is the main culprit of timber rot, and Vikings eliminated it through slope and overhangs. Extended eaves protected walls and joints from continuous wetting. In modern construction, shallower roof angles and minimal overhangs leave rafters exposed to water for longer periods, increasing decay risk. To replicate Viking durability, consider increasing roof pitch where possible and ensuring overhangs protect the most vulnerable structural timbers. Ventilation was a deliberate and essential part of Viking roof design. Beams were never sealed airtight. Instead, the construction allowed passive airflow along timber cavities. Air entered at the eaves and exited near the ridge, continuously carrying moisture-laden air out of the structure. This prevented condensation and kept wood dry, even during long periods of rain or snow melt. Modern insulated homes, by contrast, often trap humid air inside roof cavities, accelerating rot. Introducing continuous ridge and soffit ventilation, or even small passive gaps along timber lines, allows modern structures to breathe the way Viking roofs did. Surface treatment was subtle but highly effective. Vikings did not apply synthetic sealants. Instead, they used breathable natural methods such as pine tar, light charring, or oil-based coatings on exposed beams. These treatments repelled surface water while allowing timber to release internal moisture. Modern chemical sealants and paint may initially protect wood, but once breached, they trap water and accelerate decay. Using breathable water-repellent finishes today mimics the protective strategy Vikings relied upon without sealing timber in a way that could backfire. Joinery and load distribution also contributed to timber longevity. Viking beams were connected with interlocking joints, scarf joints and wooden pegs. These methods allowed wood to move naturally as it expanded and contracted with humidity changes, spreading the load of snow and ice evenly. Modern construction often relies on rigid nails or screws in thin or engineered lumber, which concentrates stress and creates microcracks where water can collect. Even applying Viking-style joinery principles in small renovations, allowing timber to flex rather than locking it rigidly, can extend the lifespan of roof components significantly. Timber exposure and maintenance were part of the system as well. Vikings understood that wood is a living material even after it's cut. Beams were regularly inspected and minor repairs were made proactively. In modern homes, structural timber is often ignored until rot becomes visible and damage is severe. Routine inspections and early interventions, particularly after harsh weather, can replicate the proactive mindset that kept Viking roofs intact for centuries. Applying these lessons today doesn't require building a longhouse from scratch. Start by choosing slow-grown, dense timber and allow it to acclimate to your environment. Protect exposed beams with breathable finishes rather than sealed coatings. Ensure your roof has adequate pitch and overhangs to shed water efficiently, and incorporate passive ventilation along timber cavities. Use joinery that accommodates natural wood movement and inspect your roof regularly for early signs of moisture intrusion. These strategies, based on centuries of observation and experience, can dramatically increase roof longevity. Vikings didn't need sealants because they understood wood, water and airflow better than most modern builders. They designed roofs that expected wetness but eliminated stagnation, allowed timber to breathe, and distributed loads intelligently. Their roofs survive as a testament to the power of these simple principles. If this guide gave you a new perspective on timber longevity and building smarter, subscribe to the channel and share this episode with someone struggling with rotting rafters or sagging beams. Relic logic exists to uncover ancient building wisdom that still applies today, teaching us how to build structures that last, long before chemicals and synthetic membranes existed.